Hey guys and girls, I'm James and welcome to the channel. Today I got something special with you. Today I got the president of the Lone Star chapter of AUVSI. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey guys, Adrian Doko here, the Association for Unmanned Vehicle Systems International here in the state of Texas, the lovely Lone Star chapter. Great to be here.
So basically what does AUVSI do?
We were formed about 50 years ago by a retired colonel, Air Force colonel. And essentially what we do here at AUVSI is we educate, advocate, and connect people with unmanned systems.
You work directly with the FAA?
I do. I also volunteer. I'm the lead drone pro here at North Texas FSDO. We volunteer to make sure our voices are heard from the drone perspective.
Mm-hmm. And the FAA listen?
Well, FAA is, a very interesting question. They do listen. We actually educate a lot of the FAA staff that aren't up to speed on the current technology. And we feel the FAA has been a valued partner for the growth for the unmanned industry.
And what do you see that industry going to in the next 2 years?
Oh man, we've barely scratched the surface. I mean, I tell people all the time, a lot of people don't understand we are about to approach the golden age of aviation. Right now, because of regulatory hurdles, we're kind of restricted on our capabilities. But I mean, here in the state of Texas specifically, we have drone delivery happening. We have all different aspects of unmanned systems, whether on the ground, in the air, or out in the water in our Gulf Coast. So we definitely see a bright future moving forward for the uncrewed technology.
You think, are you looking into training like firemen and stuff, how to use thermal imaging drones to find little girls lost in the woods, all that kind of stuff?
Oh yeah, there's phenomenal opportunities for us specifically to save lives. You know, search and rescue is valuable. Right now, just earlier this week, we had a terrible tragedy out in Kentucky. 100 plus people lost their life close to a candle factory, and these technologies are being used to save lives and also map, essentially make a digital twin of the area to assess the damage for insurance companies. So there's a lot of different uses that we use these platforms to not only save lives, but save money and save time.
And I see policemen using them if it's a hostile environment, or even the armed forces can use them to check out hostile environments before they put their life at risk.
Oh, you bet. I mean, that's been, so fortunately the military gets all the cool stuff before we do. So obviously they've been using these back in the 30s. You've been to the museum with us, and drones have definitely been an integral part of the military's dominance through unmanned systems.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And so what do you see AUVSI getting more involved in this in the next few years?
So AUVSI is uniquely positioned. We're a nonprofit organization, and what we try to do is educate people, specifically misguided legislators that might consider restricting airspace, or even reaching out to FAA and other federal, state level, even municipalities here in the area, where we try to inform people on the benefits of having these technologies in their toolbox.
So tell me about some of the conferences you've went to in the last few months.
Well, obviously the best conference out there is Exponential. I really feel that's where I've gained most of my value. Exponential is going to be in Orlando next year, I believe. April of 2022, we should have a phenomenal turnout at Exponential. There's also a few other ones that are on the radar. I know Interdrone. There's some other drone conferences out there, but I personally am a huge fan of the Exponential conference.
Yeah, you got a Saturday podcast on, not podcast, Clubhouse.
Yeah, you can say it's a podcast. Yeah. So, we were a little misrepresented on the Clubhouse app, and we thought it'd be constructive for us to set up a drone club where everyone could come out once a week and talk about issues in the drone space, whether it be, certification, authorizations, how to attain waivers to fly your drone in certain scenarios. So every Saturday at 3 p.m. Central, the Drone Club mobilizes the drone community by hosting either a roundtable discussion, or we have special guests from the FAA, from the Drone Advisory Committee, etc. And essentially, so our voices could be heard and we could, get the community involved.
Well, certain things, like the other day, I couldn't get a Lance, and then I saw on your Facebook post through our community that it was down.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate, and we've partnered with the FAA and other lands providers to figure out a plan B, because that really hurts our business when we're not able to fly legally when Lance is down. So we're trying to...
Was Lance connected to Amazon when Amazon?
Yes, that was a huge part of that blackout, was the Amazon Web Services were down. So we're working with the FAA to find, a pen and paper solution, if you will, where we can still execute our missions even though Lance protocols are down.
And for people that are new, what is a Lance?
Lance is a low altitude authorization notification center, and don't quote me on this, but it's a phenomenal technology. For those of you who have been flying drones way back, it was a nightmare. We'd have to wait 90 days to have authorization to fly in classified airspace. I'm sorry, not classified, but in Class D or Bravo airspace, we had to go through the FAA manually and request authorization. Well, with this new Lance capability, we can get authorization within minutes. So it's been a godsend. There's been a few hiccups here and there, but fortunately Lance has really saved the day.
Yeah, and there's some places you're just not going to get one.
Right, right.
The notice to airmen, the president's coming through, or there's a football game or something like that, you're not going to get.
Well, I never say never, right?
Yeah.
So if you have the proper authority, you can fly. So obviously Secret Services or military do have the authorization to fly, but unless you're specifically qualified to fly there, I doubt you will. But for everyone else, Class G airspace is open for recreational pilots, but Lance has really saved the day.
The way I look at it is the FAA, they're being proactive. To me, kind of like when they first started inventing cars and roads, there were no stop signs and there were no speed limits. So imagine if they took those away. So FAA's, they're thinking ahead of time, because you're with me, you think drone technology in the next 2 years is going to take off, especially when BVLOS comes out, then, and the metrics is set up to where we can start flying more autonomous. There's going to be drones everywhere. What do you see some advancements of drones helping life being a better place to live because of drones in the next couple of years? Yeah,
that's a great question. And if you can envision a future where we have unmanned traffic management, let's say by the year 2023, remote ID is implemented, well, that's going to make the skies a lot safer, because essentially there's going to be a digital license plate where people can be held accountable for nefarious flights. I envision a future where drones are not only saving lives through public safety with search and rescue missions, but I also see package delivery being crucial. And we also are welcoming here in the state of Texas an advanced air mobility initiative where we can have drone taxis to mobilize the community for that final mile. So say, for example, you take a flight from New York City to DFW and you live in Frisco or Trophy Club. Instead of a 30-minute drive, you can take a 5-minute drone taxi to get to your final destination. So there's going to be a huge uptick in drone activity once the regulatory hurdles are overcome. And when that day arrives, you can expect to get package deliveries or even your insurance claims where they can assess the damage of your property.
That's already getting done.
Right,
yeah,
right.
I'm in that industry. So also, like, flood victims can get medicine and needed supplies that'd be harder to get to because they can't even get a boat to them.
Yeah, I mean, the pandemic has really laminated the importance of having unmanned and autonomous systems. I mean, I know, for example, an old folks home that was devastated because they couldn't get their medicines for the people in this facility, and drones played a huge part on delivering those medicines and goods to that facility, as well as in the hospitals. They're using them to transport organs and other life-saving, products.
I think a hiker's getting stranded down the mountains. They can't get to them. They got to get supplies to them. I even like the speakers they can put on them.
Oh, yeah.
Say, hey, we're coming, because they can find them, and then they can communicate with them through speakers and let them know that help's on the way. Like, I know a police officer in Arkansas recently, there was a downed airplane. Unfortunately, no one survived, but the next morning, where is that crew going to go look for that downed airplane? Well, through a thermal imaging drone, they knew exactly where to go in the morning. Right. Because they could have been looking for days. Or, a drone can cover so much more area than a helicopter.
Absolutely.
Right.
And that infrared sensor is just phenomenal. I do a lot of thermography for my inspection job, and it really, I mean, you can't see with the naked eye what the thermal cameras can see, and it's just a game changer. So there's all different packages that these drones, sensor packages that the drones can carry. And I mean, thermal, sensor, we have ground penetrating radar. There's,
that is insane. That's even beyond LiDAR.
Yeah.
So LiDAR can look through trees and and it can see how thick the leaves are in a forest to tell the Department of Interior that they're in danger of having a forest fire. But now they're actually been able to look
underground. Yeah.
Like how many meters?
Well, it depends on the payload. A lot of times because they're restricted on how much weight they can carry, you can only see maybe 3 feet.
That's still a lot.
Right.
So let's talk about the Mavic 3. I love mine. I'm just got it. I'm getting used to it. And you returned yours.
Yeah, so I ordered the DJI Mavic3 Cine version. So I do a lot of production work, and essentially, I was ecstatic. I don't have to lug around this big old thing. Now I can just bring this little guy to the job sites because of that ProRes capability. I need the ability to shoot in ProRes. Unfortunately, after going through its paces, I noticed that because it has an internal SSD drive, it was really cumbersome to extract that data, get it downloaded to the computer, then get back up and go shoot the next shot. I would lose a lot of lighting.
Yeah, because you can just pull it out of the back.
Yeah, I can just pull out the solid state drive.
Yeah, 450
versus,
gigs.
I can get up to a terabyte on this guy, similar to that one. But on this platform, I need to make sure that my battery's charged. I need to make sure that the drone is grounded and my computer is next to it. But whereas this one, it was just so much more convenient. Just pull
and pull it out
and put another card in there and take off.
And mine's only 450. So I'm a roofer. This is really good for inspections. So I'm really putting it through the paces to see if it's going to work as good as the zoom, but because the way the cameras are going to work, it's an optical zoom up to a certain point, and then it goes digital, and then it starts spreading it out in the top camera. So somehow I'm trying to figure out how those two cameras are working, but I'll get it figured out.
I think it's a phenomenal solution to have that zoom capability.
And the 40 minutes, who wants to fly for 40 minutes? I mean, it's insane.
Yeah, that's a huge plus. I just really wish DJI would iron out any firmware issues. And we've heard of some bad batches that have been out there, but I think DJI is just really knocking it out the park with the new Mavic 3.
Well, Adrian, we could talk for hours on drones, and we do sometimes.
A lot of times.
A lot of times we talk for hours about the advancements. There's so much to go over. And we could spend an hour on each subject. We could spend an hour on LiDAR, an hour on thermal, an hour on the advancements of drones, and especially with the FAA getting all the clearance and all the things that are going to start happening. As far as AUVSI, we're going to do more fly-ups, more education. I know there's a drone park already in Colorado and North Carolina. We're going to set up a drone park here to help educate kids more and things like that.
Yeah, we're really pushing forward to assist the drone community in getting these assets and resources here in the state of Texas. Like I said, we're so lucky to have a pool of brilliant individuals that are supporting this cause. And we're definitely looking to establish a drone park here with a Nist course where we can teach people out in the field. So we're looking forward. It's going to be 2022 is going to be a great year for us.
What does Nist certification mean?
So Nist is a scientific way of standardizing a procedure or a protocol. So Nist is a standardizing or a certifying standardizing body. So they specialize specifically with the public safety. They have standardized a procedure where they can teach anyone out in the field on how to be proficient on using the drone. So
just make sure their skill level is up to par before they throw their drone up in the air.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to just working together with a lot of these great groups. And we're partnering with the Council of Governments. The North Central Texas Council of Governments have been pushing some phenomenal initiatives here in North Texas. So we're super lucky to have a lot of support from all these entities.
All right. Well, until next time, I plan on doing this again.
Yeah,
right?
let's do it.
Got Clubhouse.
Saturdays, 3 p.m. Central, Drone Club.
Yep, Drone Club. All right, guys. I'll see you. Like always, if you got something out of this, please like and subscribe. Leave comments underneath for any questions that you have for Adrian. There's probably not too many people in the drone industry that have the knowledge that he does about the advancements, where drones are headed, the regulations, and helping the industry headed in the right directions that it needs to be for the consumer of people out there that have the wrong impressions of what drones can do. Okay.
Exactly,
All right.
yeah. Thank you so
All
much.
right, guys.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. All right.
All the best.
I'll see you in the next one. All right, bye.
Cool.